Chairman from South Carolina. Ms. Mace is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And Mr. DeJoy, thank you for being here with us this afternoon, answering our questions very directly, even some of them that have been very tough. I represent South Carolina's 1st Congressional District. We're the 10th fastest growing district in the nation. We've seen explosive growth over the last couple of years. In fact, when tourists come to Charleston or Hilton Head Island, South Carolina, they never want to leave, and so they buy houses and they stay there, which is great for our economy, but also presents certain challenges with regards to postal service and deliveries. So I have a few questions that I would like to ask on behalf of my constituents. We receive complaints about mail delivery almost on the daily from constituents, and we sort of feel helpless at this point on being able to get them their packages and everything. So my questions are really just specific to our demands in our district. Despite this significant population growth in the 1st Congressional District, there's been a lack of new post offices or additional postal routes being established to accommodate our growth. And so I would like to ask you today, should the Postal Service adapt to changing demographic circumstances, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. A postal worker from the Low Country, that's our nickname for the area that I represent, called our office recently to say they're not able to keep new hires on board because their routes are impossible to complete in the allotted time. And even if they do complete them, it's often long after dark, which has become a safety issue and a safety concern and can result in increased postal crime and violence, which you know is on the rise. So I would like to ask you if you think it's appropriate for postal workers to have to work or take on those kinds of risks, yes or no?
No.
Thank you. My constituents' medications, we've heard stories from constituents of their medications crystallizing in the mail, becoming useless due to being left in warehouses, trucks, or in the wrong mailbox. Is it standard Postal Service policy for the elderly not to get their medicine on time, and when they finally do get it, for it to have gone bad? No. Yes or no? Thank you. Many of my constituents have called in complaining of incurring late fees on bills due to late mail, missing IRS refunds, missing sent payments. Is there any reimbursement or plan for action for our constituents who now have late fees on bills that were missed because mail was delivered late or was lost?
Well, there's no action for reimbursement, but we are trying to improve mail service across the nation.
And what about for those who have to repurchase medication due to it being delivered late? Is there not being able to be delivered on time?
There's no action to reimburse.
Okay. In the last year, we sent a letter to a district manager to start the process to fix zip code lines in Goose Creek, South Carolina, my hometown, to create a new zip code for Cane Bay in our district. My constituents have wanted this for years, and Mayor Habib of Goose Creek asks me about it every time I see him. And to date, nothing's happened on the U.S. Postal Service side of things. So I would like to know if you guys can get around to helping us so we can get mail delivered better, faster, more, particularly in this area on that front, or is it going to take an act of Congress? What do we got to do to fix it?
I mean, zip codes are part of our operational process and strategy. We just can't add them whenever we want without looking at that. But we'll take a look. We always review requests.
And what's the criteria for getting that done? What criteria do you all use in the Postal Service for determining new zip codes?
I think we actually stopped issuing new zip codes a long time ago. So I don't think there is a process.
So what do we do? I mean, this is a whole area. I mean, it's one of the most fastest growing parts of our district. I mean, it's just explosive. We can't keep them from stop building houses and mailboxes. So what do we do?
So I will take a look at it. I mean, there's a lot of ways to solve for explosive areas than changing a zip code. There's route adjustments. There's facilities as you request. I mean, we are now looking at, part of our transition is to look at all our route. We're going through a whole process of reevaluating all our route structures, looking at where all our delivery units are based, rolling out new facilities, accelerating the mail moving through the system, and trying to make stabilize the workforce and make everything and everybody happy. We're on that path.
Yeah.
So I would look at your area. I would look at the Charleston area, and then we'll talk to you about it.
Kane Bay. Just remember Kane Bay. It would be great. I want to thank you, Mr. DeJoy, for being with us today. It's our responsibility to hold the Postal Service accountable and ensure it fulfills its mission with the utmost efficiency, integrity, and care. Kane Bay. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I yield back, Mr. Chairman.
Gentlewoman,